In 2024, a first-time buyer in Manchester moved into their brand new £320,000 home. 2 weeks later, they couldn't sleep. Not because of noise, because the walls were literally separating from the ceiling. They called the developer. The developer said it was normal settlement. It wasn't. It was the beginning of a nightmare that cost them £47,000 to fix. And the worst part? They were never warned. Nobody is. But here's what nobody tells you. Their story isn't unusual. It's not even rare. In fact, 95% of new build buyers report some form of defect. Not 5%, not 10%, 95%. So if you've bought a new build or you're thinking about it, what I'm about to show you isn't a horror story. It's your future, unless you know what to look for. That 95% defect figure isn't an exaggeration. It comes directly from BBC Morning Live, analysing data from thousands of newly handed over properties across the UK. This isn't one bad builder. This is every new build in Britain. If you are a first-time buyer stepping onto the housing ladder, you have been conditioned to believe that buying brand new is the safest, most trouble-free option. The reality is a high-stakes gamble. For almost every single person signing these contracts, moving day is not the start of a dream. It is the official handoff of an unfinished, defect-ridden construction project. Independent inspection data shows that a typical new build home in the UK averages 141 individual defects. 37% of these are internal decoration issues, like paint failures and cracked plaster. But the problems run far deeper, routinely including poorly fitted doors, active plumbing leaks, warped flooring, and severe insulation gaps. This is the physical reality behind the polished sales pitches. When 24-year-old Becky Williams moved into her Persimmon home in Wakefield, she found her living room still occupied by a builder's workbench. Her final snagging report detailed 295 separate defects, including a smashed window, misaligned door frames, and structural bricks she could move with her bare hands. It took 16 months of constant pressure to get those issues resolved. You paid for a finished house. You got a project. Walk into any housing development and you are greeted by a flawless, carefully curated world. The show homes are polished to absolute perfection, while glossy lifestyle brochures sell a dream rather than the actual physical condition of the building. Sales representatives are highly trained to deflect hard questions about construction quality, steering you quickly toward a massive financial commitment before you can even step inside the finished property. Here's the trick. You're buying a promise, but the contract you signed, it protects them, not you. If you are currently near exchange or completion on a new build, keep watching to discover what the standard warranty actually covers and open the link defect checklist resource below to secure your investment. The trap springs the moment you try to inspect your new home. Developers routinely refuse or heavily restrict pre-completion access, locking you out of the property until you sign the final papers. They apply intense legal and financial pressure to force completion before any independent eyes can look inside. This procedural squeeze is highly effective. The vast majority of UK buyers move in without ever commissioning a professional snagging survey. By the time you finally get the keys and step across the threshold with an inspector, your ultimate leverage, the purchase money, is already in the builder's bank account. You are legally locked in, and the power dynamic has instantly flipped. Most buyers think the 10-year NHBC Buildmark warranty is a safety net. It is marketed as total peace of mind, but look closer at the actual terms. The first 2 years are simply a builder remedy period. This means if your toilet leaks, your plaster cracks, or your floor warps, you cannot claim on the insurance policy. Instead, you must persuade the developer to return and make it right. And when they eventually send help, they routinely dispatch the exact same subcontracted workers, the low-bid, rushed crews who made the mistakes in the first place. You are trapped in an exhausting loop where bad work is patched over with more bad work, while the clock ticks down. Once those 2 years expire, the cover narrows drastically. From years 3 to 10, the warranty only covers major structural defects, like foundations cracking or weather tightness failing. If your pipes burst or your doors warp, you are entirely on your own. The warranty sounds like complete protection until you read the limits. Planning laws and building regulations in the UK set a floor, not a ceiling. Yet, volume house builders treat this bare minimum as their ultimate target. These massive construction firms are publicly traded corporations. They answer to shareholders who demand high profit margins, often prioritizing speed and volume over workmanship to hit quarterly financial goals. This pressure to build fast was supercharged by the taxpayer. The government's Help to Buy scheme pumped £29 billion of public equity loans into the housing market, funding over 350,000 home purchases. This massive influx of capital accelerated construction speed across the country, but it came without any new quality controls. To make matters worse, the safety nets designed to protect buyers are compromised from the start. The dominant warranty system is entirely industry-funded, financed by the registration and membership fees of the very developers it is meant to police. This funding model raises serious conflict of interest concerns, leaving buyers with little leverage when structural issues arise. When you look at the corporate incentives, the rush for volume, and the lack of independent oversight, the pattern makes sense. The flaw is not a crack in your wall. The flaw is the entire system. You do not have to walk into this trap unarmed. Protecting your savings starts before you ever receive the keys, and it requires a strict, systematic approach. First, book an independent professional snagging inspection before you complete. Spending £300 to £500 on a qualified surveyor to inspect the property before handover is the single best investment you can make. It routinely uncovers hidden structural errors, potentially saving you £40,000 or more in future out-of-pocket repairs. Second, examine your contract with extreme care. Watch out for restrictive clauses designed to limit your defect claim windows, block your right to early inspections, or force you into accepting subpar subcontracted work. Ensure your contract respects your legal rights under the new Homes Quality Code. Third, turn your final walkthrough into a forensic evidence-gathering mission. Photograph every room, window frame, pipe connection, and socket. Use a camera app with active, embedded digital timestamps. You are not simply viewing your future home, you are compiling a hard database of physical proof. Fourth, do not accept the keys or sign the final papers until the developer commits to fixing all identified defects in writing. Get a signed, binding timeline for the repairs. Once the money changes hands and you take possession, your maximum leverage disappears instantly. Fifth, ask the sales team this exact question to test their honesty. If I discover a defect after moving in, what is the exact process and timeline for fixing it? And what support does the warranty provide? Watch their reaction closely. An evasive, unwritten answer tells you everything you need to know. Taking these steps forces the builder to treat you as an active auditor rather than an easy target. If you want more consumer investigations to protect your investments, subscribe to the channel. The ultimate question isn't whether your new build has defects, but whether you're ready to fight for the finished home you paid for. Until the system changes, vigilance is your only real warranty. Subscribe for more consumer investigations.